From a super secret location deep within the mountains of Colorado, it's time to strap up, strap in, or strap on with your host, Shenanigans in One Shot. It's From the Ashes Radio!
Howdy, folks. How's everybody doing? Welcome to From the Ashes on About Face Media. How's everybody's? It's been 2 weeks since we've gotten to see each other. Look at all the people, man. There's lots of people in here tonight. I'm excited about you guys being here. My hetero life mate is on the way. He just had to top off a few things. You know what he does. Welcome to it. He's getting there. Give him a second, folks. Welcome to the show. We've got an exciting evening tonight. He's getting his stuff done. We got to shut off all of the warning system so that things don't go off while we're in the middle of a show. We are going to have someone from my past has come to join us. Some of you may know him. Some of you may not. You're going to meet the Duane Landry, a man who lives in my nightmares. Well, now in my nightmares. Well, you're going to meet him in just a little while here. I am super excited about a few things tonight. You guys have really set tonight's show up for success. Brandon Polk is the one that had brought us tonight's Combat Carl. You're going to love Combat Carl. What's on your... Where did you get that?
A good friend of mine.
That's
He's a crayon eater, and you know him.
Yeah. I love that. And yes, since it's Gay Pride Month, congratulations to all our Marine Corps friends. What do you call it? Exactly, Duane Wayne.
On being part of the Navy reasons, or gay.
I'm going to hand this to you.
I know. That was part of what I was going to bring up with you.
What's that?
You were not allowed to hold that when I sit next to you. So when I arrive, you stop.
I want you to know that before, just like everything else, I play with it until I see you. And the axe.
I hope you don't play with other things until you see me. I'd rather you stop before you see me, so that I don't have to.
I really like that. I want one, except I wanted to say I want the Second Amendment on it, so that when all the world goes to shit, I'm actually going to use mine though. I'm going to split skulls with mine. I like yours though. It's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And I like where it came from too. And I love that he still listens to the show is my favorite part. I got a bunch of stuff from Berserker Boards. I told him, I'm like, hey man, just send me like 2 of everything. The fucking light is back. Dana Miller says it's almost as if we plan these things, Dana. I mean, yeah.
See, here's what happens. Sometimes
yeah.
I have a very holy week.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
And I come back and I'm just so fucking enlightened. I'm just like lit up.
You can tell the weeks that he's been to church and the weeks that he hasn't.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. All right.
Sometimes I'm from the dark side.
First of all,
sometimes I'm nice.
How was your last 2 weeks? I missed you.
It's been weird.
Why?
I came down here on Monday.
That explains a few things.
I had a whole show.
Did you?
Man, nobody fucking knew about it. But I had a show.
It's just you talking to yourself.
Yeah, no, I went back and forth. I talked to you. You just weren't there.
Oh, all right.
So I would put on my headphones.
How'd I look?
Better.
I mean, well, it can't look worse. I mean,
we're here.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. How was your Memorial Day? Did you do anything?
No, I didn't do hardly anything.
No,
just chilled out, cooked a little bit.
That's awesome.
Yep. What about you?
Cool. Well, I mean, I fly fished. It was awesome.
Yep.
I mean, dude, no. Before we get to Combat Carl, I can't speak highly enough of this fly fishing guide school.
Yes.
If you are a veteran, I can't recommend this enough because no TV, extremely limited internet, 8 hours a day in a boat floating down a river in nowhere, absolutely nowhere, Montana. And it was everything, dude.
Glorious.
It was absolutely glorious. I learned so much. It was so relaxing. I mean, you don't bother to take out your phone because you don't have any cell service. There's nothing.
No, there's none there.
Yeah. And when you get back, there's no TV. So like you talk to each other.
It gets better. You read a book.
Yeah, I did. I brought a book. I would get up in the morning.
Play a board game.
Yeah. I would. What the hell was that? I don't know. We're okay. Security check.
What happened?
I don't know. That thing again?
Again. It's so weird when it goes out because you can't tell what it is that went out.
Yeah.
Because when it goes
I love
out,
that we were both like, what the fuck?
I know. It's very strange. Folks, we are
We are professionals.
the result of a nonprofit.
Yeah, exactly.
If you go to aboutfacemedia.org
And make a donation.
Donate now.
You might be able to see Seth's face. So this comes from a longtime listener, Brandon,
Yes.
who I was with in San Antonio, Texas. He and I taught together. We taught a class together, and it was awesome. I'm just going to read. You can relax and enjoy the moment.
I understand better when I have two forms of.
This is awesome. I love that I'm on the way out to the show and my phone lights up and like, dude, you got to throw this one out there on the show tonight. The U.S. Army is apologizing after a live stream of the change of command ceremony for the 1st Special Warfare Training Group, Airborne, was interrupted by a highly inappropriate content. It was a dude beating off with a butt plug on. Now, Army investigators are looking into how the incident might have happened. The change of command ceremony took place on Thursday, May 30th at John F. Kennedy Special Warfare Center and School at Fort Liberty. It's Fort fucking Bragg. The event was also
you can call this shit Fort Liberty all you fucking want now.
It's Fort Bragg, bitches. The event was also live streamed over Zoom for those who could not attend. So everybody got a little piece. I can't wait to listen to WTF Moments talk about this later. Go ahead. What are you going to say? Go ahead.
Tell me this was a private. It wasn't, was it?
I don't know if it was a service member
Who the fuck
or
was
what.
doing this?
I have no idea. You know that meme that Pat Hennessy sends out all the time with the black guy with a giant dick?
Okay, this is why. All personal technology should be wiped from the Army.
Oh, yeah.
All meetings and all things should be done in person at a big round table. A genius once said, a genius. Okay, let's go back in the day.
No shit, no
let's
lie
give,
everywhere.
Let's give him his. Oh, I'm gonna lead him some shit.
Here we go.
Motherfuckers. What was the greatest table of all time? The only table to have pure perfection.
Do you mean the sand table or do you mean the round table?
The fucking round table. Lots of things have came from it.
Mm-hmm.
The
King
greatest
Arthur.
knights.
No head, no foot.
Who designed it? Which knight?
King Arthur.
Circumference.
Circumference. You're an ass.
You know what was great
This is
about
why I
it
like
is it
talking
was
to you.
face to fucking face.
Yeah.
You do not command a fucking military.
The Air Force has arrived. Let the caviar and girl push-ups begin.
This
Dude,
is-
I read that fucking epic from Rob Garcia. You must admit, what would you give to see Sergeant Major when he was told the news?
Okay, one, I heard a rumor, and I want to read more into it, and I did know a little bit, but I want to look at the exacts. The military is getting away from certain MOSs or certain jobs. Like they're cutting some things that they used to do that are just turning over to contractors.
Okay.
Like civilian jobs that we made a military job for. Let's just let the civilians do it.
Okay.
I think it's great. We should have a military and then civilians.
Agreed.
Okay, civilians meet on fucking Zoom. Military meets in fucking person.
Eyeball to eyeball.
We command warfare. We don't do Zoom meetings, you weirdos. Eliminate all this shit from the military. 1950s, man. Fuck it. You should have your personal cell phone is checked in when you show up. If you need a cell phone for the battlefield, it's either a radio, a sat phone, whatever. I'm done.
Go back to analog watches.
I like my 8-digit grid.
I get where you're going.
I know.
However, but with them being tracked and everything.
Listen, I know.
That was a big deal.
I'm just saying it was really fun to run land nav courses with a compass and a fucking 8-digit grid.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Okay, besides, even then. No, I'm with you. I agree. Analog fucking watches, compass.
Yeah.
Like, let's start
how many
making
can't
people know
do it
how to
anymore?
function. No, we're getting to the point where do we have NCOs that can still function with an analog watch,
A map and a compass.
a map, and a compass?
No.
No. When was the last generation that could? I could.
I don't know.
I know you're from the generation that could.
Yeah. Well,
And
yeah.
I would assume you'd be able to a little bit.
I can read a map and a compass. Yeah. And that's the thing is I don't think that is taught anymore. Well, and I knew how to do it because NCOs beat it into me before I got to that course. It was PLDC when I went. I don't know what it was called when you went. Peer Leadership Development.
No, I had the same thing, PLDC.
Okay.
Are they being taught by PowerPoint in a classroom? Or are we still operating with a compass? Because here's the thing. If shit hits the fan, a military man shouldn't just be able to kind of know what it was from being taught 20 years ago in Boy Scouts. Like he should be proficient in it.
And be able to execute.
That's how we work. We work like differently. Everything goes down in combat.
I
feel all these things are being given to us. It's just not.
The Ukraine war is showing a lot of things. Like I have a lot of friends that work for the Lockheeds, the Boeings, the things like that. I have a very good friend who's listening right now, I'm sure, who works for one of those organizations. And he's helping to build the greater bullet, the missile, the satellites, and all that stuff. The Ukrainian war is being fought by 23-year-olds with a cell phone and a drone, and they're flying it into the Russians' houses and barracks and shit and detonating the drones.
Yes, and I also heard that the boots on ground are older.
I don't know about that.
I had literal first-hand knowledge today. You know.
Well, hey, Holly Miller, who is just retired, I guess PLDC, WLC, etc., is not required anymore. First NCOES is as a sergeant. Heard that today. Holly would know. She recently retired, and she was a sergeant major, fucking whatever. She was a boss lady. So yeah, she would be the one to know.
Yeah.
But so no, the answer to answer our questions is no, they're not doing that anymore, which should scare the shit out of you.
Scare the shit out of the people operating right now because, I could operate.
You can move, shoot, move, and communicate. It's the only three things you got to be able to do.
Yes.
Everything else, we can figure it out.
I didn't need a phone I'm joking about the watch. I liked having it.
Yeah.
If I was competing for time.
Yeah.
Or not really. You know what I mean? Like
I didn't have my first.
I needed to hit a land navigation course and I needed to take a fucking hour nap.
I didn't have my first Garmin until I got to DC, to JSOC, and that tracked where I was going and whatnot. And it immediately became an issue because now we're like posting on these apps and stuff and sharing like, hey, I went on a 3-mile run, blah, blah, blah. Well, we're giving away what we're doing to those that are watching us.
Oh, we didn't have those.
You didn't have
I got out in like 08, 09.
So yeah. Oh yeah. So I guess you wouldn't have. Yeah.
See,
Junior PD has memorized the streets and blocks numbers on paper.
I didn't.
So Junior makes a good point. So going through police academy stuff, you have to memorize blocks, names, streets, where you are, what number,
Yes.
If you give him a number, hey, go to house number 1500, he knows what block that is, where it is in relation.
Yes.
But that only works in certain places. That only works
in grid cities.
Yes. That's not going to work in
Denver, Aurora are
super secret location.
amazingly easy. If you know the little hiccups, the couple.
And they're like, there's like 7. And if you know those hiccups, you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, others don't grasp that concept. But
yep.
Kind of funny. It is kind of scary. I get where you're going, but in the exact same breath, like I said, Ukraine is showing us that all the money that we're dumping into the Lockheeds, the Boeings, and all that stuff, it's wasted money.
So back to real quick though. I heard the boots on ground operators are a much older generation than what we think.
It's not the 19 to 23-year-olds.
No,
I have no idea.
Rather than the 19 and 20-year-olds, it's the 30 to the 60-year-olds. A lot of 30 to 50 with dudes in their 50s.
In the whacking,
dude. No shit. But this is in person conversation from a friend of ours, a very good friend of mine, that got back 2 weeks ago from Ukraine. He spent 6 weeks there.
Bring back the trench gun. I mean, yeah.
And that brings up another thing. What do you think about changing the culture of our age group from being 19 to 28 to 29 to 50?
Well, now we're getting into a little bit of the philosophical portion of it.
I am like, why are we not waiting? Why are we not waiting for our young men to go to battle to have lived or hopefully lived on their fucking own outside of mom's basement for a couple years. Maybe had a job. Maybe went to maybe had gotten a little maturity. Oh, do you got kids in your basement? Oh, fuck, you do. All right. Well, you can thank me later.
Oh,
I like talking shit.
That text message is going to blow up in a second.
They talk shit back.
I joined the Army for my own personal selfish reasons. It's a whole other story. But I was happy to go to war to fight terrorism so that my children would not have to. And now, because of our politicians in our nation, there's the potential that my children will have to. Yeah. I distinctly remember when George Bush declared the war on terror, and the very first thing that happened was the IRA in Ireland threw up their hands and said, we don't want any part of this. We are no longer a terrorist organization. We are out. And they threw up their hands. So they're like, fuck it, we out. Yeah. So, I mean, we had started to win the war on terror. And now, because of politicians being little bitches, now there's potential that my beautiful daughter, my son, our sons may have to go forward. We did our job. They did not do theirs. And that pisses me off. We killed the terrorists. They didn't do their job, and that pisses me off. By then, common sense and critical skills are more developed. Not a lot of 30-year-old guys are going to enlist into poverty and get sent into war. That's a good point, Robert Garcia.
So I was thinking about that. That was one of the first things that popped in my head, is like being a private at 30. I was thinking more along the lines of having, I haven't put a lot of thought into this, but why don't we don't send them as young? Doesn't mean you can't enlist. Like, maybe there's a lot of other MOSs that we're getting rid of that we start actually use those.
Like what?
Like a truck.
19 and 20 years old. I mean, I'm down with that.
I mean,
sucks to be them.
Right. But you start learning somewhere all about living on your own, military life for a few years. Now our age average is maybe even right.
Well, now you're starting to go back to the age of was it like squires and shit? Like, yeah, as an infantryman, you would have had some little slug that fucking prepped your food for you, cleaned your weapon, shit like that. Duane Landry, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I've been out too long. I really don't pay attention.
Well, no, that means you get to say any crazy thing.
Yeah, you can say whatever fuck you want.
You're a crazy old vet, and you can just bounce crazy ideas off the radio waves.
Well, I don't stay up on current affairs lately. I just find it too depressing. So I tend to stay away from the media.
We have a radio show where we're obligated to stay up on this shit. So yeah, I can get behind that.
Well, we stay up on the funnies.
For those that don't know, the man you are looking at was and is my flight medic instructor from when I went to flight medic school in 2002 at Mother Rucker, Fort Rucker, Alabama. This man built and designed a UH-60 Black Hawk simulator that to this day I sit up in bed afraid of. Duane Landry, welcome to From the Ashes. Thank you so much for being here.
They're still using that 60 Alpha simulator at the schoolhouse, Rob, is my understanding.
Why would you move on from it? It fucking works.
Yeah.
The Nightmare Maker, why would you move on?
Yeah.
Duane, I have to ask you one question before we get real underway.
Yeah.
Was Rob your private Carl?
No.
Just that guy. No, he wasn't?
No.
Darn it.
No.
You ain't got to lie.
No, I'm not. But before I get into what I wanted to talk to you about, so I served with a guy in Korea, and this guy's like, you got to have him on the show. I swear, you just got to have this guy on your show. I knew him in Korea, and then this other guy that served with him in Korea has been researching his life for the past 8 years. Okay, I knew him as David Edens. His real name is Stephen J. Perino. He's the only person in American history to breach U.S. national security longer than anyone. He has 9 fraudulent enlistments in the military going back to 1973 when he was assigned to the USS Coral Sea, launching sorties off the coast of Vietnam. He learned with that green ID card he could get 30 days paid vacation a year, so he was smuggling cocaine. He is the world's most successful cocaine smuggler who was never caught for smuggling cocaine. he was caught smuggling weapons out of Iraq.
Oh yeah, we're interested in talking to this guy. He's our kind of people.
So on the surface, the story's about lifelong crime, cocaine trafficking, rock and roll, stars, military action, and maritime adventure. But he's even got pictures of, he stole Rod Stewart's Porsche because Rod Stewart owed him money for cocaine. So he stole his Porsche.
How have I not heard this name before? Now I'm interested.
So his real name is Stephen Perino, but I knew him as David Edens. Lucas Lovett will probably reach out to you because he's watching the show, I think, tonight about getting David on. But he's got all the photo documentation. Like this guy taught himself to hack the DoD computers because originally he was just forging documents. Taught himself to hack the DoD computers.
Send them our way.
Not that hard.
We're interested. We're always and if it doesn't fit our show, it's going to fit another one. So we've got plenty of them on this station that'd be interested to talking to him. So yeah, absolutely send that shit our way.
Okay,
Martin,
Lucas.
Martin from Swearing In podcast would love that guy. We're all about it. Oh, and Lucas Levette says I'm watching.
Oh, perfect. So Lucas, reach out to Rob.
Send me.
He'll get David on the show.
Hit me.
But
all right, so let's talk, Duane. How you been since
talk.
2002, man?
Good. I live in Toronto, Canada now. I went to PA school when I immigrated here, and I work at an iron mine in the Arctic Circle in a medical clinic. So it's an interesting life.
You went to PA school though after your time in the military.
Right? After my time in the military, yeah.
Well done to you. Very well done.
Yeah, it was through McMaster, and the Army paid 100% of everything, so it's kind of no-brainer.
Very well done. Well, you reached out. First of all, you've been a long-time listener and a long-time supporter of the show. Sent us one of our first knives, which I thought was super cool.
I got another one.
Look at that. Half face blade.
Yes, when I have your wounded. I just need a tax receipt for this one. But I was thinking maybe you could raffle it off through the Flight Medic page, $5 an entry or whatever, and get what you can for it to help the show.
Well, absolutely. It will help us put on other veterans on and help them put get their shows on.
Yeah.
So you wanted to talk to us about alternative medicine. Well, what does that mean?
When I went to PA school, we had a block, and it was called Complementary and Alternative Medicine. And that's in Canada, we have doctors that are called naturopathic doctors. In the United States, I think you call them functional medicine doctors. So they're not allopathic medicine doctors, more into traditional with natural substances. And one of the again, none of this is medical advice. I'm just talking about my personal journey. Don't do anything as far as your health is concerned without consulting with your doctor or a naturopathic doctor or a functional medicine doctor. Just don't take matters into your own hands. But just one of the first things that has really helped, I know a lot of veterans have problems with their sleep and quality of sleep. Mm-hmm. And on Health Twitter has, I'll get into that in a few minutes, but they have a lot of really good accounts that will cite actual medical studies, so you can go and read the studies. And I was looking for a way just to improve my sleep, and I came across some articles from this one account on Twitter called Analyze and Optimize, and they have a YouTube channel as well. So it's called earthing or grounding. So remember your little ECG electrodes, mm-hmm. right? So you have one end, you can attach it to your body, and then the other end of the cable just plugs into the negative port on an electrical outlet, and it'll ground your body to the earth. I have bed sheets that this snaps onto as well. The bed sheets have silver fibers in them. Since I started grounding, 6 months or so ago, my sleep has been a solid 7.5, 8.5 hours a night, just great sleep. And there's other health benefits to grounding as well, as far as helping your blood pressure regulate, wounds heal. There's a lot of health benefits to grounding. And
we have a listener right now who is a police officer spent most of his career working overnights, got switched to the day shift.
Yeah.
And now can't sleep. So he's getting like 20 minutes a night of REM sleep. And the guy just cannot get to sleep. So keep talking. This is the kind of stuff that our listeners need.
So he needs to reset his circadian clock, right? And having these bright white lights on at this time of day is just destroys your circadian rhythm. I have just regular old-fashioned incandescent bulbs or red light, right? Red or near infrared light. Just like when you were dark adapting to go on missions in the military, right? It was all red lens. Well, it helps. That's one of the things that helps regulate your circadian clock is when you're exposed to that early morning sunlight, right? Like when we're running PT at 5:55 and we're watching the sunrise, that early morning sun is hitting our eyes. It's mostly UVA, which stimulates your melatonin production, which helps set your circadian clock. And that's basically what he has to do. He has to get his circadian clock to reset again. And then my a naturopathic doctor recommended this book. It's called Adaptogens, right? I just started reading about it. And like I said, the channel Analyze and Optimize on Twitter is hands down one of the best accounts. There's another account that Merkai Medical I follow because I buy some of their products. And in fact, if you find Merkai Medical on Twitter, Vance, who is the owner of the company, he's also, I think, the bantamweight MMA champ of, I'm not sure what, but his name's Vance Elrod. If you use the code Spartan20 on any of his products, he'll give you 20% discount. I don't get anything from that. I'm just helping promote him because I like his products. One of his products is called black seed oil, and the active ingredient in it is called thiaquinolone. Black seed oil, I'll just go over just really quickly what some of the properties are from Health Twitter real quick. So black seed oil, yeah, it's one of the oldest oils out there.
Are you saying like flaxseed is in Fox Lima Alpha X-ray?
Black as in Bravo
color.
Lima. Yeah, black seed oil.
Keep talking.
It's an anti-obesity. It helps with allergies. It improves your immune system, improves metabolic health, improves your gut health. It has neurological benefits, hepatoprotective effects, protects the liver, improves skin health, reduces H. pylori in the gut, improves celiac symptoms, and it also improves insulin resistance. I was playing with the black seed oil and eating breakfast consisting of like 2 huge glasses of orange juice and a bunch of fruits and sugars and honey. And my sugar would spike to 7.1, 7.2 within the first hour. But at 2 hours after eating, I was back down to 5.6. I'm like, wow. Now, I don't have a problem with my insulin, so it was just kind of interesting. I also noticed that my blood pressure came down a few points on it. So that's
I've never heard of black seed oil. Where do you? How did you come up across this?
So in the book Adaptogens, it's there, and then Analyze and Optimize had been talking about it, and I read some of the studies, and it's actually the oil is so old that actually the Prophet Muhammad had said that the only thing that the black seed can't cure is death itself. Now, that's a pretty bold statement, but just it's pretty amazing that this oil can do all of that. Plus, it's great for if you've got problems with dandruff, just like a 1/4 teaspoon in your hands, rub it in your hair every 2 to 3 days, and it takes care of dandruff. So the other thing then was in the book Adaptogens I started reading about was
feeling popular tonight, Duane. What's up, man?
Yeah, I know. Someone's just trying to call. Probably someone just harassing. But with the black seed oil, it's just really interesting how something, I'm taking just a 1/4 teaspoon twice a day. And then the other thing I came across in the book in adaptogens was this substance. It's called Shilajit, Shilajit. It comes from the Himalayan mountains, also some of the Ural mountains. It's basically a tar-like substance that they harvest out of rocks, and it's made from the decaying plant matter over thousands of years. It's super high in fulvic acid, humic acids, and a bunch of minerals. But you have to be careful with Shilajit because it can be contaminated with heavy metals. And then just through researching and reading more and more, I found a company on Twitter called Based Supplements, and they sell Shilajit and pine pollen and a bunch of other things as far as nutraceuticals for health. And the reason I liked them was they independently third-party test their Shilajit to show that it's not contaminated. And they've even had customers pay for third-party testing on their own, and their stuff always comes back clean. Shilajit helps with everything from dementia, Alzheimer's, memory, cognition, mood. If you get into PubMed, if you go to PubMed.com and you type in Shilajit, you'll see just the huge number of studies done on it. And then for people who may not understand medical speak, if you go set up an account with ChatGPT, you can copy the conclusion or whatever portion of the study, paste it into ChatGPT and say, explain this to me like I'm a fifth grader. And it will synthesize it down to whatever reading level you're comfortable with and explain it and be like, oh, okay, so that's what this study is saying.
Or a
And then
second
you can
grader
ask
for our Marine Corps listeners.
Yeah. And then you can also tell ChatGPT what are limitations of this study, because, you know, studies can have limitations where they're not. A study can be made to say anything the researchers want, really. So you want to know, was it a good study? And ChatGPT can help you with that. It's really interesting. I think AI is amazing technology.
No argument from me.
Oh, yeah.
What are
This
your
is
thoughts on
fantastic.
some of the stuff? Like here in Colorado, we just had psilocybin legalized. So it's very, very popular for the veteran community for like microdosing for head injuries and mood and PTSD treatment. What are your thoughts on stuff like that?
So that's interesting because just today, Analyze and Optimize released and showed a study where they're using the microdosing psilocybin, but also in combination with LSD, with people with severe PTSD who have failed all traditional treatments. So it's just really interesting that they can do that.
I
love the look he's giving me right now.
Do I have to sign up, or can I just show up for my good time?
Well, from
Doesn't
the
work
way
that way, guy.
I was reading the study was they were microdosing the guy on shrooms, and then when he would feel himself starting to peak, they would give him the hit of LSD, and they were using EMDR, you know, the colored lights to sync his brainwave to theta wave using the sound frequencies. I think it was in 538 hertz or something like that. A lot of interesting studies on sound and frequency and vibration as well. And then,
Duane, I could talk to you all night, but I only have a very limited time, and I want to be as respectful to your time as possible.
I appreciate it.
I'm going to hand you off to my stunning, good-looking, my hetero life mate here. He's going to give you the rest of the directions here.
Okay.
Hey, Duane. Thanks for being on. We always close up and give our guests like a minute or two to kind of close up some whatever handles you have or any quick thoughts you had we might have skipped over. But about a minute or two real quick, and then that'll be into your time. Thank you very much.
More about the LSD.
I want to turbocharge my mushies with LSD.
That would be interesting, I guess, but not for me. I'm been getting into journaling again lately, and actually, you know, kind of putting together things that have happened and timelines, and actually thinking about writing a book and about resilience. You know,
I would read it.
Yeah. Someone else you should have on your show is Matthew Kinney. He's on the Flight Medic group. He's in the Flight Medic, the secret group we have.
I think we know each other.
Yeah, I think you know Matt Kinney. Matt Kinney and Peter Roars, if you could get both of them on the show, they were both Silver Star with V device winners from medevac missions in Afghanistan. Matthew Kinney was in the Battle of Why Not, and Pete Roars had something happen in southern Afghanistan around Jabad, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they would be both good guests. Also, you got to get with Lucas so you can get David Edens on your show.
Yeah, that's a hell of a story.
He is a character. I'm telling you, he is larger than life, and he's an amazing dude. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Hold on before we cut you loose. Give those resources one more time. You talked about a couple of different resources.
Just on Twitter, if you start with analyze and optimize, and they have a channel on YouTube as well with a lot of good videos. Again, not medical advice. Make sure you check with your family doctor or your naturopath or your functional medicine doctor. Don't do these things on your own. It's just a recipe for disaster.
Well, when I come to my doc with this stuff and I say to him, hey, I want to try this out, what's he going to say to me?
Well, you bring the studies with you because he's going to say, well, why? And you say, well, here's what I'm hoping it will achieve. And here's the studies that show it's safe, right? You don't want to say it's going to work because it may not work for you, but you want to show, it's safe. The studies show that this is safe for humans to take.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Duane, whether you realize it or not, you were a hell of an influence in my life, and I sincerely appreciate it. I can't thank you enough for constantly listening to the radio show and being supportive. And most definitely, thank you for taking time out of your Monday night to be a part of the show. And I really appreciate what you're doing.
Anytime. Have a great night,
Thanks,
Rob.
Duane. See you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen,
have a good night, White Shot.
Duane Landry, a voice from my past, a very long voice from my past. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for that one. That was a good one. In just a few minutes here, you're going to get Coach JP. He's working on logging his way in, and right now he'll be in the green room in just a few minutes to get you to work on changing your mind. I know you're down.
We talk about this all the time, but
Go
I
ahead.
know you're a huge advocate for alternative health.
I haven't heard of some of the stuff that he was talking about. I'm going to look it up, and I very much am. I despise I hate opening the mailbox and having that white plastic bag in there, knowing it's a bag of pills from the VA, and I haven't had a conversation with my doctor about whatever's in that bag.
Oh yeah,
It makes me crazy.
they're crazy,
and a lot of them I don't take. I don't
Yeah.
take 90. They sit on our shelf and they drive my wife bananas.
I need to throw them out more. I throw out more all the time. I had stages of the purge.
Well, and I like that you're someone I can talk to about this stuff because you're an advocate for the supplements
And the rest of the entire world.
and the good
live.
stuff. Well, because we've had some of the similar conversations, and you've given some great advice, and we'll be able to get on some stuff.
Here's the one right here, and I mean, there's all sorts of little ones, but this one just is so fucking awesome. So you're around when I had my whole panic about I had a weird fucking lab test. Long story short, ended up getting a bunch of thyroid fucking tests. Thought I had cancer. Ended up with Hashimoto's. Fast forward a couple years of being medicated. Heard some shit. I think you started the rabbit hole on something. I think 6 months ago, 8 months ago, so a while ago. And then I dug down the rabbit hole, and I started doing some shit, and then I took some shit, and then I quit taking meds. Just regular, just old food, the same food we're eating, more of certain things in a certain manner. And then I went in my doctor's appointment after I hadn't been on the meds for 4 to 6 months. 4 to 6 months, hadn't been on thyroid medicine. It's how long I was like, hey, I quit taking that. I've been taking some supplements. And he thought I was crazy. And I said, well, I want to see what happens. I have no idea. But this stuff is supposed to help out the things that help out the things that help out the things. Long story short, I don't have Hashimoto's. I probably still have it at some level, but I every test you can give me was good. I'm not saying that it works for everybody. That's why I didn't say what I used or what happened. I'm just saying the storyline. because everybody's different. Like a lot of this is just our body is a machine, right? The most complex machine there is.
The most perfect machine.
Most perfect, most complex, most amazing machine out there, living machine. So the oil and the antifreeze and the airflow and all those things we're taking in and putting out has to do with every function inside of it. We might, we can slap a new part in here or there, but maybe if we're not feeding it the right or a high quality fuel,
And I mean, no argument from me. And combine that with, couple things to go with what you're saying. One, I stay in very close contact with my friends from my first deployment to Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
We're up to now, I believe it's like 8 people that I deployed with, men, who have hypothyroidism.
Yes, we all do.
That's
or more and more of us.
Fucking wrong. That's something that's fucking wrong. Something that we exposed ourselves to over there is doing this to us.
Yeah.
Because to have that kind of cluster and concentration doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't fit. So I love.
Well, just if you look at things they can't say just like single off cause, but have a factor in getting the imbalance in the thyroid is extended periods of high stress environments. You ever been deployed?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So, without even there being a chemical, it could be just from the way of life of a military personnel or the way of life for military personnel.
Yeah, definitely. I don't disagree with you. Well, and now people that I care about are coming down with thyroid issues. And JP is in the wrong waiting room. He's in the waiting room from last week's show. That's awesome. No big deal. He's on the way. People that I care about are coming down with it. And the battles that I fight with this thyroid issues, because it's systemic, it affects your whole body.
Right.
It drives me fucking nuts.
Yes, absolutely.
And the fact that people that I love and care about are fighting these battles
struggling
really pisses me off.
Yeah.
Really pisses me off.
Yep.
So, yeah. So,
and that's a big factor. I think that I think is not being thought about is wow. I'm trying to figure out the right word so I can just keep repeating ones.
you don't have to. I mean, go ahead, you're fine.
No, it's looking at the body as a whole and not understanding how much your thyroid is affecting your hormones and then your attitude and then your mental, like all these things on such a what they try and make like a simple little thing like, oh, your thyroid's a little off, so just take this for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
we got it.
Your thyroid is a big fucking deal.
No, if that's not, let's try to make that motherfucker work right.
Yeah,
let's fix it. Anyway,
it's a huge
make it more better.
Coach JP, I don't know if you heard the previous segment. We were talking about alternative medicine and some of the other ways that you can medicate. Some of the other things you can take, including supplements and things like that. Are you a fan of like some of the alternative medicines, like the supplements, things like that, or what do you take supplements?
Hey, what's going on, Justin? First of all, I want to apologize. I was in the wrong waiting room, but
you're good, man. You're good.
I do take supplements. I do believe in different approaches, but my overall mindset when it comes to that is you have to do what's going to work for you. Meaning that if you focus on one thing, but you're still staying up late at night and binge eating once or twice a week on pizza, the thyroid issue is something that you need to tackle a little bit differently. So
I like his
it's
attitude.
a full picture approach, my man. Like a lot of people think that, oh, well, if I get this right, then the rest of my life will fall in order. But no, it's the rest of your life is in so much disorder and so much disarray that you're only getting 4 hours of sleep. And that you think that the reason why you're not healthy is because you need to cut out the pop. You need to do more than just that, right?
This is why we drag you on here, man. That's right here.
Happy to be here,
I'm
man.
going to cut out the pop and I'm going to be good. JP, where are you from originally? Who says pop anymore?
Chicago, man. That's what we say up here.
Oh, okay. I'm from Nebraska and they say pop, but I swear to God, like no.
You know what it might have been? It might have been.
Never heard anybody else do it.
I think a lot of my platoon members were from like the Nebraska, different places like that.
Midwest, yeah.
I have friends that call it soda or Coke. What flavor Coke you want? Bitch, Coke only comes in one flavor.
The white powdery flavor.
All right, 2 flavors.
With the hooker attached. All right, wrong show, my bad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the one we do later.
Coach, we've
You're
been
good.
missing you. Good to have you on the show. What do you got for us this week?
Happy to be here, guys. So today I want to talk about, I'm coming in hot. All right. So I'm not going to do a trigger warning. This is more of just an alert that this is going to set you off a little bit. And I want you guys to really think about this because everybody has this example in their mind. They just don't bring it to the forefront because they don't feel like they can accept this reality. And the reality is that you do not have to be friends with every veteran. That you do not have to be friends with every single veteran you meet. I was at the VA the other day, and there was a veteran there, and I'm glad that he went. A lot of veterans don't even go to the VA, right? And he was trying to get some sort of services. I'm not sure exactly what it was. To be honest, it doesn't matter. But his attitude was that of an asshole. His attitude was very much entitled. His attitude was like, you guys are not taking care of me. This is why everybody hates the VA. His attitude is exactly the type of reason why so many people have this negative stereotype and this negative stigma around veterans. And the problem with that is that so many veterans are doing so well in life and they're trying to do better and they're trying to come up and they're trying to get out of that stigma. But then we have those few veterans, and this is in every subculture, every culture, right? Like the one bad apple spoils the many, right? But that veteran is going to give a bad taste to other people that are trying to help veterans. That veteran is going to give a bad mentality, bad rap, bad just mindset to the other veterans that are doing a lot better in life. And the problem with us as a culture, exactly. And the problem with us as a culture is that we feel like, well, we can't speak up about that. We have to support our brothers and sisters. We have to all be tight knit. We all understand each other. And I get that mentality, but the problem is that we're out now and we're all trying to make our lives individually better. And you should not sacrifice who you are and what you're working towards in life just because there's someone out there that keeps trying to pull you down. Now, there's veterans out there that need help. They need assistance. They want the assistance. They want the help. But the problem is that there are some out there that no matter how much you try and help them or talk to them, their mindset is going to be spoiled. They can't come back from where they're at. And that veteran that was trying to get services at the VA, because of his attitude, this service representative or whoever was helping him is now going to have that image of what a veteran is. And it's not correct. It's not right. A lot of us are doing really well in life. And even the ones that aren't doing so well, we're all working towards something. Right. And I know I don't have too much time left, so I'll leave it.
No,
you're
you
good,
keep
my man.
talking.
We
Look at
love
Michael
this
King's
subject.
comment. Holy
This
shit, you're hitting a
fucking-
nerve, Coach.
This subject is so great. We've talked about it too, but not all veterans are good people. Not all veterans are honest. Not all veterans are nice, you know? And me and Rob talked about this because of this show in particular, other things that we're involved in. We talk to a lot of veterans. That doesn't mean I like a lot of veterans. That means I like some of those veterans. I won't say the percentage, but like I'm allowed to like my friends, and my friends are, you know, kind of like we fit in. We like the same things, you know. There's lots of people in the military that are completely different, which is okay, but I don't have to be friends.
And that's the best part about it. We're all different. We all get to be different. And that's also to caveat to the fact that when you get out, you should definitely have friends that are veterans that have been out a little bit longer than you that can kind of guide you and mentor you and kind of push you in the right direction. But that doesn't mean that you have to just disregard civilians or you have to disregard people that you feel wouldn't understand you. Those are the type of people that have been in society much longer than us, and they're the ones that can guide us in the right direction.
I think you have to be careful with that one.
Let's hear it.
Why?
You got to find a veteran that's been out for some time after you, but also is in a place that you want to be. You know, not just a crusty old guy at the VFW that gets fucking wasted every Monday night and then goes home and kicks the dog and goes to bed. You know, like I think looking for the correct mentor that's an older or got more time in civilian life veterans a fucking amazing idea. But there's a lot of the crusties that wouldn't be.
I'm leaving Michael King's comment up there on purpose. I went back and found it again and put it back up on the screen because I think he's right. He hits the nail on the head. Yeah,
for sure.
And I think you're hitting it in a big way. You're striking a nerve there in a big way, Coach. A goal veteran, not a drowning veteran. A goal veteran, not a drown. I'm not sure what you mean, Savannah.
And I'm looking at
being a veteran is your identify. You're missing the mark. Oh yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you're really striking some nerves here right now.
Yeah, I see a couple people that I know from the group that joined, but absolutely,
being a veteran is your identity. You're missing the mark. It should be a part of your identity.
Exactly. It is a launching pad for your next chapter of life. It is a stepping stone. When we get out, sometimes we make that identity so large because we're scared to admit that we need to do something else. And if we don't admit it, if we don't say like, well, I've done something, now I need to do something just as large or larger or bigger or even more challenging, you can keep going back to like what you did. And I did that for the longest, man. I got out and like I used to wear this hat that had a little stupid sniper tab on the back, and the right veterans kind of reached out to me and they made fun of it appropriately. They humbled me a little bit, and then they took me under their wing. But it was the right type of veterans. You're right. Like, it can't just be anybody. It can't be any veteran. It has to be somebody, like you said, that is somewhere where you want to be. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And a couple things to go with that. One, I'm a sucker. I'm a super big sucker. I see somebody struggling,
True story.
Thanks. And I want to reach down and bring them up. And I've been bit in the ass for it. You want to reach down and help somebody out. And then turns out, hey, they were just a dirtbag to begin with. So nothing you can do about that. But I've learned my lesson. No, I haven't. I'll keep doing it. And I just can't help it. That's the first point. Second point, I really think we're seeing us GWAT babies are really kind of taking over spaces. The art we're creating, the books we're writing, they're getting into politics, they're getting into life coaching, they're hosting radio shows, all the cool stuff. They're taking over, I think. And I think the GWAT babies, I think they're running the world, if you ask me. And I think they're going to see a lot more of that in the very near future. That's just my humble opinion. And I think it's because of people like you, to be completely honest.
Well, I really appreciate that. I actually just found out today that I'm going to be on a panel at the Military Influencer Conference in October, and I found out that we got approved for the panel. I'm looking forward to it, and I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't either.
I think you're right.
Pimp that shit.
I just
Pimp that shit right here.
Yeah.
When, where, and how can people attend? How can people listen?
It's in Atlanta. It's going to be September 29th through October 3rd. It's called the Military Influencer Conference. I didn't know anything about it. I was asked to come on it from a good friend of mine who's another veteran influencer, Jenna Carlton. She runs the Millennial Veteran podcast, and she put us in for a panel, and now we're going to be talking about young veteran issues, the modern veteran, the GWAT veteran. Like, I think you're right, man. I think the fact that we're more willing to not just speak up, but put ourselves out there. I have a video that I put up the other day, and I'll keep this brief, but I think it really hit me this week, that I put a video about how older veterans have a different type of mindset. And somebody commented back, that's an older veteran. She's like, yeah, I've been doing this for years. I talk to the youngins, but they don't listen. Unfortunately, you can't really do anything. And social media is not helping. I 1,000% disagree. I think social media is helping when you use it the right way. It's a tool. Otherwise, none of this would be spread. We wouldn't be here right now. And I think the mentality, the old school mentality of like social media isn't helping, is wrong, because it is helping. We're putting our words out there. There's dudes who are in right now who message me daily asking me what it's like when they're going to get out. There's people that are messaging me that I never thought would message me, just asking and talking about what they're going through right now as they're getting out or as they've been out for a month or two. And we didn't have any of that when I got out. I mean, we just got out, and good luck,
Yeah, literally smack on the ass and good luck to you. Yeah. Doors that way. Don't let it hit you. Agreed. Coach JP, I can't thank you enough. If you're free for the next 5 minutes, I don't know. I know you got family and kids and whatnot. If you're free for the next 5 minutes, it's time for the safety brief. Every Friday afternoon, before the commander cuts you loose, you're going to get your safety brief before you get cut loose for the weekend. Because this show airs on a Monday evening, we got to give our safety brief. It's got to last through the week. And so, yeah, it can be anything that you want. But the listening audience is yours. Do you have anything to add to this week's safety brief?
Absolutely. I do. And I want to thank you guys for letting me do this. I really appreciate it. I'll keep it brief, but super powerful, hopefully. All right. So we do Mindset Mondays with my group, right? And today we didn't do Mindset Monday. So it's going to be a little bit of a Mindset Monday safety brief. For the week, for the week. I want you guys to remember that every single day is just that. It's just a day. However, they all connect. They all matter. So if today wasn't the day that you wanted it to be, remember that tomorrow is a new opportunity, and you have to set yourself up for success starting tonight. If you want to wake up on time, if you want to wake up early and make the right decisions for tomorrow, it starts tonight. Go to bed on time. Set your alarm, put your phone on sleep mode, put it across the room, and get your happy ass to sleep. Because if you have a bad day tomorrow, it is because of what you did tonight. Like, that is 1000% true, because if you wake up and you're tired, you didn't sleep well or whatever, it's because you didn't do the right things today. Which means that if you think about it, if next year, next week, next month, whatever, if you want it to be better, everything that you're doing right now matters. So start thinking about that. Start realizing that every single thing you do matters. So if today you've realized that you're hanging out with the wrong people, cut them out of your life. If today you realize that you didn't eat the right foods, start eating the right foods. If today you realize you didn't even work out today, you didn't hit your 10,000 steps, start hitting your 10,000 steps. Start working out. Just start doing the things little by little. And I promise you, they add up. And before you know it, it will be at a whole nother level, and you'll have to even level up from there. So just make sure you are tackling every single moment, every single day, realizing that it will definitely affect the rest of your life. Every single second counts.
These ending segments that we have on our show
That was
are
a
the
good one.
best. It is. Between him and Allie,
We should pay him for at least another week.
I know. This
Keep
is fucking
him on.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
checks in the mail, coach.
All right.
Go ahead. What do you got?
Oh, I was listening to him so much, I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead. Go.
It's allergy season, folks.
Oh my
Pollen is
God.
everywhere. Everybody's getting their asses kicked. Take some allergy medication, hydrate, do the right things. You need allergy medication. Everybody's getting their asses kicked right now with pollen. So, yeah, take your medicine. Go ahead. What do you got, man? Did you come back to you?
Power tools work better when sober.
Wow. Okay. I won't even ask that one. Okay. Well, I'm going to believe. Hey, so our never forgotten for this week comes from a listener. This is exactly the stuff that we're looking for, folks. If you have someone you want us to remember, this is what we're talking about. Pack 628, Boy Scout Troop 628 laid a wreath on Memorial Day at the grave in Arlington National Cemetery of Captain Sarah Cullen at Arlington National Cemetery. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, when you drop to your knees, when you say your prayers tonight before you at dinner with your family, please remember the name Captain Sarah Cullen at Arlington National Cemetery. Coach JP, thank you so much for being a part of the show. We can't thank you enough for taking time away from your family to be with us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being a part of the show and listening to us. You're listening to From the Ashes on About Face Media. We really appreciate your support. And have a great rest of your week.